Students, today the topic of discussion is the source-free RL circuits. In last lecture, we have seen the behavior of RC circuits when they are source-free, and we have discussed that in detail, that what will be the behavior of the circuit when there is no independent source present in that circuit. We have also solved an example in which we have seen when there is a switch, and when the switch is closed and when the switch is open, then what will be the behavior of that RC circuit. In this lecture, now we will observe all these things here, and we also observe the circuits in which we are having no independent sources, and also we will do an example in which we have a dependent source also there. And one more thing, that when we have a switch, when the switch is closed or when the switch is open, then what will be the behavior of the circuit. So first of all, we will see that what is the source free circuit. So basically the source free circuit, it refers to the behavior in terms of the voltages or the current of the circuit itself when no external source is present there, that is no independent source is present in that circuit. Then we say this, that the circuit is basically the source free circuit. And if we say this, the circuit is basically the source free RL circuit, then it means there is RL circuit, that is a resistor and an inductor is present there, and there is no independent sources is present. So such type of circuits are known as the source free RL circuit. Now let's consider a series combination of a resistor and an inductor as shown in this figure, and a current I is flowing here. So now we have to find out the circuit response. Let's assume that the current I, that is flowing in this circuit, and when this current it flows in this inductor, then this is the I of t. And we also know that the inductor current, it doesn't change abruptly. So we select that the inductor current as the response in order to take the advantage of the idea that the inductor current cannot change instantaneously. So at t is equal to 0, we assume that the initial current of this inductor is I of t is equal to I naught. So I of 0 is equal to I naught. That is the initial condition. And the energy that is stored in that inductor is W of 0 is equal to 1 by 2 LT Li naught square. That is the energy that is stored in this circuit. When we apply the KVL here, this is basically a series circuit, and in this series circuit we say this, the voltage is added up. So total voltage is equal to VL plus VR. So when we apply the KVL here, then it means VR plus VL, that is equal to 0. So VL plus VR is equal to 0. But what is the value of VL? VL is equal to LdI over dt, and VR is equal to IR. So by putting these values, we get this equation, LdI over dt plus Ri is equal to 0, or we can rearrange it by having this value, di over dt plus R over Li is equal to 0. Now rearranging that and taking the integration, and after solving this integration, we have the value of I of t, and that I of t is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus RT over L. All these things, all this integration, that is for yourself, that you will do it by yourself. So I of t is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus RT over L, and here minus R over L, that is basically the time constant. Here the tau is equal to L over R. So this tau is equal to, sorry, I think so, yes, here is the reciprocal of this R over L. Basically tau is equal to L over R. So by putting this value, I of t is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus t over tau. So basically this equation that is I of t is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus RT over L. It shows the natural response of the RL circuit. And what is the natural response of this RL circuit? It is basically the exponential decay of this circuit. From here you may see this, at 0 we have the maximum current, that is I of 0 is equal to I naught, that is the maximum current, and it is decreasing gradually, and this slope is basically I naught e raised to the power minus t over tau. And from here we can get the value of tau, and here is the value of tau. This tau is equal to 0.368 I naught. That is the time constant for RL circuit. So when we putting the value of tau here, then I of t is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus t over tau. So by putting this value, that we get the value of current VR of t is equal to IR. But what is I? I is equal to I naught e raised to the power minus t over tau, and R is also present here. So VR of t is equal to I naught R e raised to the power minus t over tau. What will be the power? P is equal to VRI. So we will get the value of I naught square RE minus 2t over tau. And what will be the energy? The energy will be equal to 1 by 2 L I naught square into 1 minus e raised to the power minus 2t over tau. And that's how we can find out the values of voltages, currents, power and the energy that is stored in the inductor. Now we will do an example, and here let's suppose that we are having a circuit in which I of 0 is equal to 10 ampere, and we have to calculate the I of t and Ix of t. Here is the I of t and this is the Ix of t, that we have to find out the value of current that is passing through the inductor at time t, and also the value of this Ix, that is the current passing through this 2 ohm resistor at t. And here you see this, that there is also a dependent source is present in it, and that is the voltage source, and having a value of 3I. In book there were two methods to solve this, and I have chosen the method number 2 for your ease. So let's do it. We are doing the mesh analysis here. So this is the mesh 1 and here is the mesh 2, that there are the 2 loops present in it, and in loop 1 the current I1 is flowing, and in loop 2 I2 is flowing. So when we write the equation for I1, so when we write the KVL equation, so this is VL plus 2 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. Now what is the VL? VL is basically equal to the L di over dt. Now di, basically the current I1 is flowing here, and what is the value of L? L is 0.5, or you may write it 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. So 1 by 2 di1 over dt plus 2 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. So when we solve for this, then we will get di1 over dt plus 4I1 minus 4I2 is equal to 0. Now we will write the equation for this loop 2. So for this loop 2, the 4I2 plus 2 into I2 minus I1, and one more thing here is the minus 3I. That is here, as the I2 is flowing from negative to positive terminal, that's why that is the minus 3I. And from here we can get the value of I2, and I2 is equal to 5 by 6 I1. By putting this value of I2 in this equation, we will get our result. So when we substitute that value, then di1 over dt plus 2 by 3 I1 is equal to 0. After rearranging it and taking the integration at the both side, and also putting I1 that is equal to I. Why? This is basically the current that was here. This I is equal to the I1. I1 is the current that is flowing through this inductor, and that is also equal to the I, and that is mentioned here. That's why we are writing it I1 is equal to I. So when we solve this integration, then we will get I of t that is equal to I of 0 e raised to the power minus 2 by 3t. and that is equal to 10 e raised to the power minus 2 by 3 t ampere, and that is for the t is greater than 0. And what will be the voltage? V is equal to L di over dt. So we will get the value of VL, that is equal to minus 10 by 3 e raised to the power minus 2 by 3 t volt. That will be the voltage of that inductor, across that inductor. So that's how we will solve this question. Now there is another example, and here in this example the switch in the circuit of this figure has been closed for a long time, and when at t is equal to 0 the switch is open. So it means switch was closed when t is less than 0, and when t is equal to 0 this switch has been opened. So we have to calculate I of t for t is greater than 0. So first of all, when we do this question, we see here is a DC source present here, and we know this, that the inductor, any inductor it behaves as a short circuit for DC supply. That's why we can redraw this circuit as, when t is less than 0 the switch is closed and the inductor it acts as a short circuit to DC. Here in this figure there was the inductor, but in this figure that inductor has been short circuited. Now see one more thing, that this 16 ohm is in parallel with this inductor. So if this is short circuited, then it is understood that this is also short circuited. That's why there is the absence of that 16 ohm resistor. The 16 ohm resistor is not present here. So when t is less than 0 the switch is closed and the inductor it acts as a short circuit to DC. The 16 ohm resistor is also short circuited, so the resulting circuit is shown in this figure. Now in order to get the value of I1, what we have to do, that here you see this I1 when it comes here, then it is divided between these two resistors. So it means this 12 ohm and this 4 ohm is parallel with each other. So when we solve for it, we will get the value of 3 ohm, and this 3 ohm is in series with this 2 ohm. So the R equivalent for this circuit will be equal to the 5 ohm. So what will be the current? I1 will be equal to 40 divided by 5, that is equal to 8 ampere. And this 8 ampere, that is equal to the total current of this circuit. And what we have to find out, that we have to basically find out the value of I of t. So what is I of t? This is I of t. Here the inductor was present, and now in this circuit this I of t is basically the current of this 4 ohm resistor. So it means we have to apply the current divider rule here. The total current for this parallel circuit, that is the I1, and I1 is equal to 8 ampere. When 8 ampere reaches here, then it has been divided between two branches. One is the 12 ohm and the other one is the 4 ohm, and we have to find out the current passing through this 4 ohm resistor, that is the I of t. So what will be the value of I of t? I of t is equal to, we are applying the current divider rule here. So what is the current divider rule? Total current multiplied by that resistor in which that current is not flowing, divided by the total resistance. So I of t is equal to 12 into 8. I1 is 8 divided by 12 plus 4, that is equal to the 6 ampere. And basically this 6 ampere is for t is less than 0. So since in an inductor the current cannot be changed instantaneously, so this I of t is equal to I of 0, and that is I of 0 minus, it means that is the time is less than 0, so that is equal to 6 ampere. Now when the t is greater than 0, then the switch is open. When the switch is open, then it means this circuit has been disconnected from this part. So when only this part is present, then this is the circuit basically. And here you see this, there is the absence of any independent source. So it means this is the source free RL circuit. So from here you can find out the value of R equivalent. that is the 12 ohm is in series with this 4 ohm and this 16 ohm is in parallel with this 16 ohm. So the answer is 8 ohm. What will be the tau? Tau is equal to L over R equivalent. So by putting the value, we will get tau is equal to 1 by 4 second. And what will be the value of I of t? I of t is equal to I of 0 e raised to the power minus t over tau, and that is equal to, what is I of 0? I of 0 is 6 ampere. 6 e raised to the power minus 4t ampere. So that is the value of the current that is passing through the inductor when the circuit is a source free RL circuit. So this was all about the source free RL circuit. Try to solve the other examples as well as the exercise questions, and if you have any question regarding this, then discuss it with me during the question answer session. Thank you.